Namaskar. Welcome to Lokayan IS Academy. So, in this final lecture of our 10 lecture video series, mini series, we'll be talking about conclusion. ठीक है. So, I would highly recommend if you're straight up jump to the 10th lecture, I would recommend you to go through our previous lectures as well. I am pretty sure all of you would find it very informative. Let's get started with the conclusion. So the topic today is how to write a good conclusion. Okay, so let us start with this. What exactly is a conclusion? Okay. So conclusion, as we all know, is end. So it is, if you go by dictionary, it is basically a decision or a judgment based on relevant facts and arguments. Okay, based on relevant facts and arguments, you come up with a final decision, and that decision is called as conclusion. Okay. So a lot of students get very confused about how exactly should a conclusion be written, and sometimes it is often confusing about what exactly should be the phrasing, how exactly what are the parameters that one needs to be careful of while writing conclusion. So here I will list a few do's and don'ts while writing a conclusion. Okay, let's get started. So do's. First and foremost, it has to be positive. Conclusion, see, no one likes a pessimist. In order to leave a positive impact, you have to ensure that your conclusion is positive. We all know that there are infinite problems in this world. We live in a difficult time, but at the same time we also possess the tools to solve those problems. So you need to have this positive mindset, so that in future when you encounter problems as a bureaucrat or as an officer, you would be in a position to solve all of these problems. So positive. Second is, it can be visionary or speculative. Maybe you speculate something about future, maybe you give a picture about how future would look like. So you would explain what parameters would change in the future and how it would be better. But again, positive you have to ensure. So visionary, speculative about future, again it will be on a positive note. You can speculate about future. And this speculation can be fictional as well. It may be thoda sa distant from reality, but it is your view, it is your vision for the future. So there's no exact, what you can say, it need not be very rooted, or what you can say, it need not be very flat on the ground. So there can be some aspects that are aspirational. The third point is that make sure your conclusion is emotional. You wrote an entire essay, so emotional doesn't mean ki, sir, please give me marks on those lines. Emotional is basically you need to resonate ki how deeply you are convicted, how deeply your convictions lie with the topic, how deeply you feel that future holds something good, something positive. So that is how you will express your emotions. So yahan pe, while writing emotions and everything, just make sure that you are honest. Let's say we're talking about India, so hopeful future, society, better society. So on those lines, but add emotions to it. Don't keep it very dry. Don't keep it like what you can say, what I always like to call as a lip service. बस लिखने के लिए कुछ तो conclusion 2 lines में लिख दिया. Not like that. You will express, you will try and express something. So if introduction was your foundation, this is the apex. This is the final opportunity you have to leave a mark on that invigilator, evaluator, whoever he is. So always make sure to make it emotional. Okay, so there are some specific don'ts that you also need to keep in mind. One of the most important one that students often make mistake of is opening new points at the end. So do not open new points at the end. So new points or whatever arguments whatever facts you wanted to give, the entire body's 900 words were there with you to present them. In conclusion, it is just summary with a hopeful twist. Okay, you need not add, you shouldn't add more points. Okay, no new points for sure. Okay. Do not use keywords. Do not use words that would require further explanation. Okay, let's say you're writing an essay on women's issues. In conclusion, so nowhere in the body you've mentioned this word. In conclusion, straight away you talk about, let's say, radical feminism. Maybe you talk about ecofeminism. Okay, so these words cannot be just thrown away, like thrown at you, particularly when it comes to essay. Okay, they need some foundation. You have to explain what they are. What does these terms mean to you? What is your understanding of these terms? So that has to be explained. So do not use keywords as well. So both of these points are very similar. Okay, and avoid using introduction. So third and final don't is to avoid using introduction. So a lot of students commit this mistake. They fail to distinguish between an introduction and a conclusion. At times what they end up doing is write the same introduction with just a few words changed. Okay. So maybe we have studied about callback. So maybe you can use a callback, but it has to be more than that. It cannot be just that. Okay. So conclusion is always more. It is wider. Okay. Wider than wider in the sense, not just in very narrow sense you've written like one line or two line. It has to be thoda more than that. Okay. It encompasses your idea about where the future lies. Okay. What is in bank for the present problem, whatever we are discussing in an essay. Okay. So these were the few do's and don'ts when it comes to the conclusion. I hope you like the video. Okay. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe it if you're interested in more content from Lokayan IAS Academy. If you have any more doubts, please leave them in comment section. We'll try and answer each and every one of them. Thank you for joining us. This marks the end of our Essay Essentials series. Thank you.